Ahoy there, listeners, and welcome to the Captain's Horror Meltdown. My name is Cammie, and as always, I'll be your captain on this journey.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Going a bit shabbily, and I'm joined, as always. Well, we're on a special mission still. I'm joined by Jon. He's just Jon. He doesn't have a job.
No,
we're just both of us, comrades.
What torrid time!
We are on a mission to find. We're heading up the River Tweed. We're on a raft. I've described it as a raft nowadays.
A raft? I thought we were like a.
We were on quite a big military style boat before, but
we've gone on to
you
raft.
Fucking crashed it, didn't you?
For God's sake! Well, if you will just throw around your table cider at 7%, then these things will happen.
Look,
these things will happen.
I mean, it's perfect at the table. It's perfect
Fits
anywhere.
On my table, certainly. There's no question about it.
The meal, it's great anytime. So yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, we had a bit of an incident with the boat, and we're now in a raft.
Jesus, that's a helicopter and a boat gone already.
I know, fucking disaster. We've still got the hovercraft. Well, it's not really the hovercraft. It's that thing from Gentle Ben. The swamp, the fan swamp boat.
Craft.
Yeah.
What do you call this again? Oh, I'll take ages to figure that out.
Fan boat? I don't know.
Yeah, I'll do. Gentle Ben
fan boat.
Sea boat. Watch out for crocodile boat.
Really fucking dating ourselves there. Really dating ourselves. Gentle Ben.
Well, yeah, I think we've done that plenty in the past. Let's be honest.
Jesus. And the big news this week is we've actually not caught up with Dave and Doc yet. Friends of the podcast, Dave and Doc.
Nope.
But we do have news. We do have an update. So we've got confirmation through the grapevine that Dave has lost his mind. He's gone mad. He was spotted. He'd apparently been up for 38 hours straight and was just a gibbering wreck on the banks of the Tweed, just talking absolute bullshit. He was actually.
If you want to get like a full picture of how mad Dave has gone, I took a delivery of 5 bottles of wine and a bottle of port today from Dave.
No way. What?
That's how mad he's gone.
He's lost his fucking mind.
Absolutely. I mean, what a great friend to have.
Oh,
He's lost his mind. And B, and I will going to publicly thank Dave for that. That's brightened up my day
beautiful.
Quite a lot. So it was very nice.
Well, what I'm going to say is, where's my wine, Dave?
Well, you're just a bit of a cunt, so he doesn't send you any.
That's true. He also doesn't know my address, so that's probably. But it's a good thing. I like to keep it that way. Oh, he does know my address. He's been here.
Yeah, I don't think that's the reason, Cammie. I'm going to be honest.
Oh, God,
I don't think it's the reason.
Fucking hell. Well, the other thing about him going mad was he was spotted down by the banks of the Tweed. 38 hours, wide awake, gibbering wreck. Just speaking to 2 local fishermen. He thought they were fucking Bob Mortimer and what's his face? He thought he was on the telly.
Oh, Dave should be on the telly. I'd watch that.
I'd love to see the confusion. Just lots of still shots of Dave's face, just looking utterly confused.
I'd pay great money to see that.
Legendary. And well,
maybe we should shoot that.
We should. Another bit of news was that we think that Doc's gone mad as well, but no one's really been able to put a pin on it because he just keeps getting seen sort of zipping by on a bike, rambling, rambling gibberish as he goes.
Yeah, taking pictures of himself. Yeah.
It's fucking. But we'll get to them. I think we'll get to them quite soon as well. I've got.
Yeah, well, you say soon, but.
Well, yeah. God.
Could be a wee while.
It'll
be fine though.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Like,
it'll be fine.
When we get to them, they'll be, if they're in one piece, then that's all. Like, that's the best you can ask for, really.
Yeah. So we're basically, we're off the chain and we're on, this side mission to find these guys, working through the, images, from our logo. And
thought it was about time to actually introduce that.
Did Dawn the Dead last time, and we are moving on to Re-Animator this time. But let's date this.
Yep, let's do it
because it's important. The vaccine has been found. I think we said that last time. The vaccine has now been administered. It's been fucking administered.
The first time. Yep.
But we are on the 9th of December 2020. Year's important.
Indeed.
Always remember the year.
Also, Cormac actually got vaccinated today.
Did he?
But with but with flu, not the flu thing. That's changed days because they squirt up your nose these days.
Esme was telling me that. She was saying that at school they squirt up your nose, but
yeah,
it used to be a fucking jab.
Yeah, I think for adults you'd probably still get it right in the arse.
I mean, the thing is, we were a lot harder back in the day, weren't we? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, not really. My first memory of being a needle coming anywhere near me, I think I was about maybe probably 3 years old. And a doctor, I don't even know what was wrong with me, but a doctor coming around to my mum and dad's house and he produced a needle and I went fucking insane. Proper batshit. Get that away from me, you fucking clown. I don't think I said that exactly, but...
It'd be amazing if you did.
Worse to those effect, and to the point that he couldn't get the needle in me because I was like, absolutely no fucking way that's going in me. And to this day, I don't really enjoy them. I think it was even worse. Like, I think my child teeth or whatever took a long time to come out, to the point that most of them got extracted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like a needle in the gums is a fucking bell end of a thing to happen.
Man, I've had so many injections and so many injections in my mouth. Like, I had years of orthodontics as well. I had loads of stuff.
You mean orthopedic injections?
By the orthodontists.
Oh, right.
Tooth,
so not just general, not just general injections in the mouth.
No, just general. No. Just actually proper for work. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I had too many teeth in my mouth. I had 4 adult molars taken out when I was 10, maybe.
Jeez,
wild, man, wild.
That's a horror film. I was
spewing blood for a long time afterwards.
In fact, to be honest, that actually ties in quite nicely to the film because I think Brian Usna made a film called The Dentist.
Yeah, I've never seen The fucking Dentist.
Yeah, you don't want to. Well, for me,
is it horrendous? Is it proper? Daniel's got a thing for teeth as well, doesn't he?
He does. He does.
Oof, deep red, teeth off the mantelpiece. Fucking.
He's a big fan of crashing teeth. Not me, not so much. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah. Yeah, just anything with teeth actually kind of really, really doesn't do very much for me.
Yeah, Jesus. So yeah, we've got the big thing, the really big thing this week is there's been a bait and switch, hasn't there? Because we got the vaccine. First people have been vaccinated. But also, tonight, right now, this very moment, it might even have been on the news so far.
Okay.
Fucking Boris Johnson is over in fucking Europe. Absolutely ballsing up. I mean, Brexit's a fucking massive balls up anyway. But we may have got a vaccine that's working and people are starting to get it. And then we've just been reminded of fucking Brexit. 2020, the year that fucking keeps on fucking giving. Jesus.
It does.
Jesus.
So that was it. It's like, it was kind of weird how quick that shift was. It was like, oh, look, vaccine. It's like, oh, by the way, Brexit.
Yeah, Brexit, you're fucked.
Oh, fuck.
Mate, you're fucked. You're totally fucked. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully we'll hear something later tonight. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, possibly.
I think it's tomorrow. Tomorrow's the deadline, I think.
Oh, well, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, fuck it. It's going to be fucking carnage anyway. But we can just talk about films.
Yes, let's do that instead. Because, or have you done anything interesting in your week that's
Have I done anything interesting this week? No, our cat got his balls cut off.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Last Thursday.
You should say by a vet.
By a vet, yeah, by a vet. He went and had his operation, got the snip. And yesterday he was allowed outside for the first time. Young Dorkins. Our other cat, Daisy, when she was first allowed outside, she was fucking terrified of everything and stayed within the confines of the garden. He went outside and fucking bolted straight away for the fucking main street where all the cars are.
Oh, actually, now you mentioned the ball thing. It was last night. Rach and I were enjoying each other's company, if you like.
Okay.
And then I showed her a little picture of Dawkins that you sent earlier in the day, and she was like, "Oh, how did the ball thing go?" I was like, "I took it like a champ, apparently." She goes, "Talking of balls getting cut off," I was like, "Wait, no, hang on." I don't want to get my balls cut off.
Sure, man. Well, I mean, if you're going to do it, you might as well get it done in 2020, just to...
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's like... I kind of forgot about it. It's like, I just kind of think that vasectomy might be quite low down the list of NHS priorities right now. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
Probably going to give you pretty short shrift if you ask for it one just now.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, there's people with like very serious forms of cancer that can't get treated at the minute.
Yeah, there's me. Oh, by the way, I just want to come with my wife. So, right. Well, you know.
Sorry, sir. No, we can't allow that. Bad.
I mean, it's just fucking wait a little. Let's deal with the whole pandemic / cancer crisis. I don't know how many cancer doctors are drafted into muck around with nuts.
Probably. Well, there's quite a lot of nut cancer about as well, isn't there?
That's true. Actually, could be a 2-for-1.
Could be. God, just get them cut off. You know those little rings that they put around sheep's balls.
But does that not make you like
get a high pitched voice?
Makes you sound like a sort of slimmer Pavarotti. But if you get them cut off, does that just like make you sort of like impotent, essentially?
I have no idea. I don't know.
I think there's chemicals in your nuts that make your
testosterone
bob and go. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. Wow. Welcome to Cammie and Jon's medical podcast, where we know absolutely nothing about medicine and speculate on what may or may not be in your balls.
Yeah. So your best advice is not to listen to any of this advice and I think we're in shaky territory. Even mentioning that it may be classified as advice, it is not advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. As is our advice. No, sorry. Okay. I don't think I've done. Yeah, I think no.
Nothing's
no, I've just been kind of cracking on with my little YouTube cooking.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. So you've started YouTube. Has it gone live yet?
No. I'm going to wait till I think probably
a few videos
New
in the
Year.
bag?
I want to get a good few in the bag because I know I'm probably going to start getting a bit tardy with them.
As a sort of cooking hobbyist podcast, sort of video vlog.
Yeah, it's not. Well, I'll teach you maybe a couple of things, but
I'm very, very excited about your roast potato edition. But we won't go into it too much further because it's a total mystery at the minute. But you'll be sampling 5 different techniques for roasting potatoes, 5 different cooking fats.
Yeah, not techniques, just cooking fats.
Yeah, excellent. I can't fucking wait for this. This is the content I want to watch on YouTube.
I've got them stored in my fridge that I'm thinking, wow, I don't know what could happen.
God, I can't wait. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it in a way. But so it's so continue with that, and just as I say, I might get it launched in the new year or something. And
we'll let you know when it is launched. Just like, I mean, we're obviously very good at promoting other stuff. You know,
not our stuff, obviously.
Considering we don't promote our own podcast at all,
ever at all. No. That must be said. Actually, we did get an amazing stat at the start of this week. We looked at our Spotify. I can't remember when I submitted to Spotify last year at some point. And our, God bless you, America. Our American listenership was amazingly up by 666%.
The fucking number to be Satan himself.
What a figure.
Satan himself resides in America and is a listener.
I was absolutely delighted. Not just to have that amount of folk, because to be fair, it probably started with a very, very small amount of people. So that, but when I say that, it means like maybe an extra 12 to 13 people have actually listened to it. But just to get that figure, 666%, tremendous. That's a lifetime achievement.
Yeah, totally. That is. I mean, that's it. We're going to die happy now.
Yep. Or at least die. One of the two.
Yep. In 2020. So yeah, who's going to nail it? Probably in the 30th, maybe the 31st. Who knows?
Get the Christmas episode out and then die.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh God, sweet bliss. Anyway, shall we get on with this week's film?
Let's totally do it.
Fucking right.
Just
here we
fresh
go. I'm going
off.
to get letterboxed up.
Yes, of course.
Again, so as usual, very sparse notes.
Yeah, I haven't taken any. I just watched it.
On my phone. So here we go. So Re-Animator, 1985, directed by Stuart Gordon. And I feel that we've said this quite a few times recently on the podcast, but genuinely, there's going to be spoilers here. We're a spoilerific podcast. If you're listening to this podcast and you have never seen Re-Animator, stop the podcast now.
Yep.
And go and watch Re-Animator.
It could be an idea not to come back to it after as well.
It's available. I'm sure it'll be available to stream. It's very easily available, certainly in the UK, in America. You can get it on Blu-ray. Just go and watch it and then come back. But anyway,
do yourself a favour. Yeah.
So, Letterboxd tagline.
Okay.
Herbert West has a good head on his shoulders and another on his desk.
That's
I like it.
Quite cheeky. Nice.
We don't know if these are real or not. Again, we never really look into it.
No, we
don't. And the synopsis. A dedicated student at a medical college and his girlfriend become involved in bizarre experiments centering around the reanimation of dead tissue when an odd new student arrives on campus.
Well, it's a lead-up sort of synopsis.
It's fucking succinct, isn't it? Yeah. It's become involved in bizarre experiments. There's one way of putting it.
Can't argue with that.
Yep.
They are, at best, at very least, odd.
Yes. I mean, shall we...
That's a pretty good little synopsis.
It is a good little synopsis. Yeah. It is good. Shall we just go on with the film?
Let's do it.
Now, I was thinking about, so as always, we always stick to the same format. We've got a format. We stick to the format.
Yeah, although hands up, we frequently forget what it is.
We sometimes forget what
we do
what
have
is,
the same format. Yeah.
We do like to start off with our memories of it. Now, and this is now something that will tie into this, is that I was a little bit delayed in starting tonight, and you said you were going to go off and have a look into the censorship issues with this in the UK, which would be interesting to come to, because I haven't had a chance to look at them yet. But what I will say is, definitely early doors VHS viewing. Yeah. Definitely, this was a biggie at school.
Yeah,
this
definitely
was an early doors horror watch for me.
Yep.
I remember watching it. I must have watched it multiple times yourself. Even I watched it a lot in video. Saw it a lot of times. But I also think that I seem to remember maybe seeing it. I think it was probably a piece on the filming of Bride of Re-Animator, the sequel.
Yeah.
On the Incredibly Strange Film Show.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Without question, that's where I would have been introduced to it.
Which I think is where I first was put onto this, which would have been Incredibly Strange Film Show, I think was around 89 or something like 88, 89 maybe.
Yep.
So, it came out in the cinema in the States in 1985. It was probably out in video in the UK a couple of years after that, at least. Certainly I've seen this film so many times in so many formats that to pinpoint where my earliest memories of it are is just impossible.
I was going to say exactly the same thing. For me, it's so ingrained in my psyche of horror film, like back catalogue, that I couldn't tell you where I first seen it, because I've seen it so many times. And, it's, I suppose we must have mentioned the Jonathan Ross's Incredibly Strange Film Show in the podcast before.
I think we must have done, yeah.
It was, when was that?
89, I think it was.
89, roughly. Yeah. So like two seasons of that.
2 seasons of that.
For me and Cammie, that was kind of our that was blueprint of things to go and watch.
That alongside Moviedrome.
Yeah. That was perfect partnership. Absolutely. Came out at the right time. And, or Jonathan Ross or Jonathan Wass, if you will.
Jonathan Wass, yeah.
Yep. That especially more than Moviedrome for me was just like the pinnacle of like, what on earth are these films? It's like you got Herschel Gordon Lewis was in there, like that one extreme, and then Argento and stuff, Romero, everything was in there. And it was from the kind of like really, really highly respected horror directors down to just like total madness. A lot of Japanese stuff in there as well.
Shit, man. So I've got the list now, so I can tell you exactly when it aired.
Okay.
20th of October, 1989. And it was a double episode, season 2, with Choi Hark and Stuart Gordon.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, at 20th of October 1989, we were like 2 months into high school.
Wow,
at the time.
okay.
That's fucking wild. This was season 1. Like, I want to try and find the show again. I mean, it must be on YouTube. I guess it must.
I think you sent me some sort of weird digital copy of it many moons ago, but I don't have it anymore. I don't think.
Yeah.
Unless I find an old hard drive somewhere, maybe.
Yeah, totally. So season 1, episodes in order. Season 1, John Waters. Episode 2, Ray Dennis Steckler. Episode 3, Herschel Gordon Lewis. Episode 4, Ted V. Michaels. Episode 5, Russ Meyer. Episode 6, Sam Raimi. I fucking remember the Sam Raimi one so well as well. Jesus.
Yeah.
Season 2, Son of the Incredibly Strange Film Show, season 2 was called. Episode 1, Jackie Chan. Episode 2, Fred Olen Ray and Doris Wishman. Doris Wishman, Deadly Weapons. What a fucking mind bender that episode was. Episode 3, The Legend of El Santo. Episode 4, Ed Wood Jr. Episode 5, Choi Hark and Stuart Gordon. Episode 6, George A. Romero and Tom Savini. I mean, can you get 2 seasons of a show that are fucking such an incredible introduction?
Yeah.
To this world.
And the beauty of them, they referenced other directors and other films all the time.
Oh yeah,
as well.
constantly. And well, the interviews in them were interviewing Jonathan Ross was interviewing these directors who were quite often talking about not only their filmmaking style and how they went about things and, what they were, but also really what they were into and who'd influenced them. And I mean? It was just absolutely fucking mind-bending. What a show. I mean,
back in the day, that was, it was just amazing to watch. And as you sort of mentioned all those episodes, it was just all the other things that came into it. There was mentions of Dario and stuff like that and all that kind of business. And as you say, they were referencing all their directors and they would show clips from these films. What's that? Jesus Christ.
Totally.
Yeah. And it was honest, it was a completely pivotal show in what really shaped our viewing, I think, from that time on. Oh yeah,
totally. Absolutely. And I mean, it was literally, I didn't have a VCR in my house at the time. And it was just basically taking notes. Do you know what I mean? What?
Yeah, totally.
Fucking, what is that? What is this? Christ. How the fuck can I find that? What? Going checking the classified ads at the back of horror magazines to see where the fuck has anyone got, and these mad tapes that had maybe once been out at some point, God.
Yeah.
What a fucking time. I mean, back when Jonathan Ross was actually, at that time, with that programme, cool as fuck.
Yeah, he was, without question.
Dear me. Fucking legendary. Legendary.
Yeah. Yep.
And actually, as much of a... I think he has become a bit of a dick, hasn't he? I don't know. I don't know.
He's just become mainstream, so
mainstream as fuck. But I've always got that soft spot for him because he's one of us, really, in the end.
Yeah. He'll probably do his chat show and then go back and watch some bizarre film that maybe we even fucking heard of.
Exactly.
And that's, I like that about him. You can tell by the nick of his kids, they're all fucked up as you like, so.
Oh, that's true. Well, his wife's a big, she's a film writer as well, isn't she?
Yeah, big chested film writer.
Well, let's not get ourselves in any bother early doors.
Excellent.
Yeah, we have both. Basically we can just move straight on to the film. And it's one of those films, I really never tired of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking that today. I think what really kind of brought that home for me today was we've already watched it for one of our lockdown meltdowns.
Exactly.
Not very long ago.
Not very long ago at all. Exactly.
And I put it on tonight. I was like, we're going to be into this. And immediately, yes, I fucking love this film.
Exactly. It fucking draws you in. It absolutely draws you in. Yeah. I mean, watched it not that long ago at all. And when did we? Hold on, I'll see. When did we watch it?
A couple of months, maybe.
I don't know. It was right at the start of lockdown, 26th of March.
Really? Jesus, time flies when you're having a terrible time.
That must have been the second film we did.
Really? Holy shit.
Because lockdown began on the 17th or the 18th or something like that of March.
No, well, that I didn't know. Well, it seems like yesterday.
Well, it does. Fucking hell.
Doesn't everything these days?
Well, totally. Jesus Christ. Yeah, and I mean, like, it's almost, it's one of those films now that when you, we've all probably got several of them if you're a film fan. Films that you know the beats before they come.
Yeah.
You know exactly what the lines are going to be. You know what's coming up next. And it has never, ever, ever been boring at all.
Yep.
It's just
100% agree.
Fucking dynamite. Absolute dynamite.
Because it's so weird, like so fantastically odd, and it's such a, it's got that kind of beautiful kind of combination of being like a massive, it's gory as fuck, mental effects.
Super gory.
But
right
I
from
mean,
the start,
all the performances are absolutely diamond.
Tremendous acting as well. All of the actors are fucking brilliant. Everyone, it's quite a small film, really.
Yeah.
There's not a big scale to it. What was it, $1 million, I think? They said it was $1 million.
I was looking to the background of it. It was like originally sort of produced as a stage show.
Well, they were going to do it as a six-part TV program.
I think it was like more, like 12 parts or something like that.
He and, Stuart Gordon was him and his wife who plays the Doctor in the film.
Yeah.
They owned a theatre company in Chicago. And they were heavily,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, totally. That's what they did. This was their first foray into filmmaking. But they thought that someone had told them if you do a horror film, you'll be able to get financial backing for it, and that will get you in. That's your sort of way in. But they thought they would do it as a TV show. But they sort of developed it.
No. It's like, no, horror and TV doesn't work. And to be honest, still to this day, well, I mean, not until recently, that would still be great, I would imagine.
Yeah, totally.
I think it may be like, American Horror Story maybe kind of broke the mold with it.
I've never really watched that. Watched a few episodes of the first season, but it's something
I need to get back into it. I mean,
yeah.
I watched the first season religiously and I absolutely fucking adored it. And I've not really watched it since, I think. And I've got to that point, like, so many seasons have gone past.
Yes.
Like, oh shit, when do I start doing this again?
That's a new season.
Even though I've been in lockdown for 6 billion years or whatever, but.
I know. Madness. Absolute madness.
I will get into it though, I definitely will. And, cause I think what kind of held me back is I wanted to get the Blu-rays, I wanted to get HD, and I was waiting for like, how many can I get in a set? And then now it's kind of dropped all onto Netflix, I think. So
yes, it's on Netflix. Yeah.
So that could be the catalyst.
But yeah, I mean, this film written for the screen, small screen. Then eventually Brian Usner gets hold of it. He wants to invest in a horror film. Thinks they're onto a winner. They get this film, so they get he brings the $1 million to it basically, and they get to make this. But I mean, Stuart Gordon, untested director, first-time director,
totally.
doesn't know, admits it himself in interviews, didn't know what the fuck he was doing. And just, they just went about it in such a, like, you can tell it's a bunch of young folk that have made it, really. Do you know what I mean? It's just like,
that question. Let's
just fucking go for it. I mean, the cast are all fucking tremendous. All work really well together, all fit really well together, and it just, the special effects have been totally pulled off, and the special effects guys were all like, oh fuck, we didn't know, we said we'd do it, and then suddenly we were like, fuck. Well, as is all, often the case with these films, that, the special effects guys are like, oh yeah, we said we'd do it, and then suddenly we had the fucking 5 weeks to do it or something, But they actually managed to
figure out how it's going to work and stuff, and oh my god, they figured it out.
Oh, they
amazingly.
Fucking, absolutely. Jesus. But I mean, I would say there's like four key cast in it, really. I mean, it's quite a small piece, isn't it? So you got Jeffrey Combs as Herbert West, absolutely tremendous. And I think his first film role, absolutely tremendous performance. What a character! What a fucking!
He's just a legend, man. He's an absolutely legend.
Nuts, and what a fucking level of menace that he brings to the screen. Yeah, demented.
I think I always remember going to see The Frighteners in the cinema, and just him coming on screen was like, yes. And obviously because I guess Peter Jackson's probably a big fan of him as well. And And honestly, that film was so rich for him being in it. It was fucking, as you see, just lends this like air of like, holy shit. Like almost like a sort of a, you can't even really predict where the menace is going. That's what I really like about him.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, am I on his side? I don't really know.
No, that's the thing as well. Well, and he's like so fucking uncomfortable watching him as well, because he's just that kind of person that in real life, I think unless you're a maniac yourself, that like, you know, the people that are like that are so fucking abrupt and rude are just awkward as fuck to be around. Do you know what I mean? And you're constantly watching and just being like, oh my God. Oh, he's got no shut off. He's got no sense of, so much self-confidence that he's just fucking to the point of rudeness. Like, oh man, he's great. Absolutely brilliant. And interestingly as well, that the whole banter with the film originally was like, as it was scripted before it got into the edit, was that he wasn't really the main character. Like, Bruce Abbott, was the lead as, Dan. Is it Dan?
Yep.
Dan.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Basically, like, the Barbara Crampton and Bruce Abbott were the sort of the focus of the film, and then they were sort of like dragged. You know, it was like about their relationship getting broken up by getting dragged into Herbert West's experiments and stuff. But then ultimately, it just panned out. It's quite interesting. I watched one of the documentaries in it, which where I'm drawing these bits and bobs from. But Barbara Crampton was saying that, who we'll get to in a second, but Barbara Crampton was saying that the thing with the film was that, like, although, you know, they were saying, you know, it was written so that, you know, their relationship was central and, you know, Jeffrey Combs, but it just basically, none of them, it's not like Jeffrey Combs tried to steal the show, because they were all so young and so inexperienced. Then none of us would even have known how to steal a scene or how to, do you know what I mean? It wasn't, we were just going with the flow sort of thing. And they had like, you know, so, I mean, I did find that quite interesting. Obviously, you know, the original short story that it's based on is called Herbert West Re-Animator. But, I thought it was interesting that they'd sort of originally intended it to be, I guess, which should have been a consequence of it being on TV, to have the sort of young couple as the sort of focus of it, and then, you know, but which is still the sort of central, one of the central things, I guess, is like, you know, Dan getting like, you know, dragged off by Herbert to, into
like kind of being like vaguely corrupted and, you know.
Well, it's all fucking, and the thing is as well, like, we should just say it straight out the bat, like, I mean, it's so fucking, there's no fat in this film at all. It's absolutely fucking streamlined. I mean, 86 minutes long.
Perfect.
The uncut version, 86 minutes long. There's actually, the Blu-ray in the UK has a cut called the Integral Cut on it, which is actually nearly 20 minutes longer, 90 minutes longer.
Quite a lot longer,
which is basically just TV stuff that was shot to bulk it out for TV. So,
well, I think it was also like shot to bulk it out for how much it had originally been cut.
Okay.
Oh, I've gone drippy. There we go.
Oh, he's got a dripper. Jesus, too much cider.
So, looking at that, I think the Integral was actually sort of bringing in things from a cut version to actually pad out the film, essentially. Lots of things that had been initially cut from the edit, but because they cut out so much gore, had to actually make up a vague semblance of a story.
Right.
And I think it's been re-added in later with basically the full film, and then plus all the other stuff as well.
I'm quite interested to watch that and see what's got in there, because I did know in the documentary they were talking about a big side thread that they had, a big thread that ran through it, a side story where the Dr. Hill, the sort of bad doctor in it, he had, there was a whole sideline where he had the power of hypnosis.
That's right.
And that's why he was able to control the zombies when they're reanimated, and You know, but they said that, you know, it really slowed it down. But and that's interesting that they were like, oh, it really slowed it down. So we cut it, you know, we kept all the gore. In fact, they went back and shot the intro after they'd wrapped so they could get, because they were like, well, it's so gory and so wild and so fast that we should have a pre-credit sequence which instantly says to you exactly what's going to happen with fucking guy's eyes exploding. Do you know what I mean?
It's actually really interesting, that sequence. It actually, you know, looks very different to the rest of the film. Not very different, but
it does.
You can tell it's not being done at the same time.
Yeah, it's an extra day shooting. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, totally. My microphone is now upside down. I hope that's okay.
Your microphone, you're having a real palaver with your microphone there.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's up? Hello? It's upside down. That'll be fine. But it should be fine.
That'll be good for our Australian listeners.
Yeah. Oh, they love it. Yeah. I'll shout out to Joel if you're listening. Take care.
Truth, mate. Yes, 86 minutes. There's not a bit of fat on this film at all. It just fucking gallops along.
It is bonkers fast and beautiful. There's no
fanning around. There's no fucking exposition at all. It's just boom, 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 boom. Here we go.
Yeah.
Suddenly,
it tells you all you need to actually know to get a grip of the film, and then just goes tonto, which I really like.
I just think it's almost we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're nearly showing our ratings already, but it's an almost perfect horror film for me.
Yeah.
It's just like absolutely.
I agree.
You know, I mean, and all the things that you could quibble about with it, it looks very sparse, etc. That's all to do. It's all just to do with the budget. And at the same time, one of the things that really fucking annoys me, and I'm working film and TV, one of the things that really fucking annoys me these days is how over-designed lots of stuff is. How much clutter and how much there is going on in everything now, right? And I mean, I'm not like absolutely not taking anything away from any of the amazing work that's done by art departments and prop teams and all the rest. They're just going on what the directors and producers want as well, and they're all working together to make this really lush, rich environment. But you see a film like this, it's set in a hospital. There's not shit everywhere in a hospital. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you're pushing a cart down a ward, it's just a fucking white corridor with a door in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, a lot of stuff now, you know, if you've got a bigger budget, suddenly it becomes, oh, let's have loads of extras walking around. Let's have doctors. Let's have people with clipboards. Let's have patients. Let's have someone in a wheelchair going past. Let's have posters on the walls. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's have signs that say X-ray department. Do you know, it just all builds and builds and builds. Whereas, you know, suddenly you've got an office that's got like, you know, a million stories in it. You know, they're saying, oh, well, you know, yeah, but the thing is, this doctor was he's really into sailing, so he's got a model of a sailboat over in the corner here. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, the argument's there that adds, it's enriching the film, but who's it enriching the film for if you're talking about like a low budget horror film like this?
Yeah.
I don't fucking need to know if Dean Halsey has a ship. I just need him to have a fucking desk with a couple of books behind him. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. All you need to know is him. And like, I mean, if it's a good enough written piece and if it's a good enough actor, then all you need to see is that person, really.
Exactly. Nail the writing.
Put him in a roughly recognisable situation, and that's you. You're done.
Yeah, totally. Fucking, oh man. And this film nails all that stuff. Absolutely nails it all. Do you know what I mean? I think the other key character for me in this, and he's a really minor character, is the security guard at the hospital.
Oh, he's amazing.
Fucking tremendous. So that guy adds. He was worth 10 times what they paid him. I mean, I can guarantee.
Yep.
He just
especially the end bit. It's just like, oh, he's fucking great. But I'm done with this. I'm out.
Totally. You know, and like when Dan's been, you know, kicked out of school already, and they do their first sneak into the mortuary to wake the body up. Dean Halsey's gone like fucking tonto, and that guy walks in and he runs in and he says, "Are you okay, Dan?" And it just shows you instantly that relationship and how like he's, you know, how well respected Dan is and how much of a nice guy he is, and he's suddenly getting caught up in all this fucking madness. You know, he's not even remotely suspected of anything by the security guard. And it's little touches like that really make the whole film for me. Oh God, it's such a beautiful film. And fucking talking about beautiful fucking Barbara Crampton, probably my earliest horror film crush.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, you know,
it's never gone. It's never gone.
I think all that he's really said about Barbara Crampton in her, I mean, she's a horror icon, no question about it. It's been lots of really cool stuff of this kind of ilk and budget.
Yeah.
I always remember, I think when we were watching this in the Meltdown thing, and Dave, whoever he is now, we don't know exactly.
He's somewhere on the banks of the Tweed, gibbering to people.
So he's not in his house anymore, but he did have a son and a wife, and we will try to reunite them as best we can. But when he was at home back in the day,
God.
and we were watching that film, and it was absolutely, he's got like Johnny is 17 now, I think.
17 now, maybe 16 at the time.
Possibly, yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. But yeah, so basically she came on screen and his immediate words were like, who is that?
Closely followed by some very awkward moments for Dave later on, I'm sure.
Well, closely followed by Johnny going upstairs, missing the last of the film and just wanking himself into oblivion, I would imagine.
Dave asking if anyone wants a cup of tea and getting off all flustered.
Johnny, could you stand up and... No, I really can't, actually.
I'm not going anywhere, totally.
Johnny, could you get me another beer? Not right now, no, I can't.
And what a fucking performance she puts in as well.
She actually really does. You know, I mean, and, you know, I think one of those things is sort of back in that sort of time of, I'll use the phrase scream queens if you want.
Yeah.
And it was always like, always kind of aimed at folk that weren't particularly capable actors. But I think she is fucking tremendous in this film. And she's tremendous in other films as well. Yeah. I mean, she's got to get full credit. I mean, I think she really blazes into that character. And I just find her, like, really totally enthralling all the way through it. But she still does give that hint of slightly clueless lassie.
Yeah.
But it's totally knowing, and I love that. I really love the way she's done it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, you know, a lot of films of the genre and of the time would have just had like a total airhead, like,
totally.
You know, she's elevated well above that. David Gale, who plays the bad doctor as well, fucking, what a fucking role that was.
Oh, tremendous.
Jesus, and what performance.
Man,
absolutely
he's
demented.
Iconic, man. Holy shit.
Yep. Absolute fucking legend. Fucking great. And Dean Halsey was great as well. And I mean, and that basically fucking wraps it up as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, but I don't want to go too much into it. I mean, God, as we always say, pretty much for every film of this ilk, we'd be absolutely surprised and mortified if you haven't seen it already.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you haven't seen this, for God's sake, you're in for a hell of a treat. And if you haven't seen it, I envy you. I actually envy you.
Yeah, totally. You're going to get to see it for the first time.
Oh, and you're like, oh, I can imagine maybe people won't have seen it. It's like, oh, that's kind of an old film, blah, 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 blah. I get that myself sometimes. Quite a lot, to be honest. Sometimes I'm not massively up for watching something that's older than, but obviously I'm quite old now, so
that's fucking 35 years old though, man.
Yeah, that is pretty wild when you think about it. And I can understand people being like 18, 20, 25 saying, oh God, that film's like 35 years. It's like us watching like Nosferatu. Not quite, but
well, no, it would have been like us, at the time, 1989, say, when we first watched it. I would imagine on the back of Incredibly Strange Film Show, what would that have been? A film from 1954? It
could be like us watching the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh, yes.
I don't know. That could be... That's just a rough throw in the dark. But yeah, it might be. And, you know, horror films do progress, and obviously, you know, it's an old film, and it's quite wild to think how old it is now. But for God's sake, if you haven't watched it, you will absolutely love it. If you're listening to this, you're going to love that film.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, everything about it. It's other things. So we've already said, acting's great, story's great, plot's brilliant. Brings the original up to date. I think the original was written in the 1930s.
Yeah,
Gothic.
Well, that was interesting. The original idea was to actually film it back in the original time.
Yeah.
But through budget, like, it's not going to happen.
It works so well.
But it's updated, and it's like, holy shit, they've done this.
Well, the other thing as well is at the start. So the film, when you buy the film, it's always called Re-Animator. But when the credits for the film call it Herbert West Re-Animator.
Yeah.
And the original idea was to do a series of these, apparently do a series of films with, like Herbert West, or, or to have them, it doesn't say Herbert West, it says H.P. Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraft's Re-Animator they were hoping that they would be able to do a series of H.P. Lovecraft films that would be sort of branded as H.P. Lovecraft's, whatever, as they went on. And I actually, when I heard them saying that, I was like, oh man, what could have been? What could have fucking been? Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
It'd been fucking lovely to have seen that. And I mean, I think this film definitely did well. So, but yeah, I mean, shit. It's just so fucking, and soundtrack, fucking tremendous soundtrack.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that, because the soundtrack throughout is actually phenomenal. It's recorded by an Italian orchestra.
Oh, was it?
It was, yeah. Like literally in Rome.
Right.
And the soundtrack is fucking magical.
I mean, and it's properly heavily based on the Psycho soundtrack.
Yep, it's got a different vibe of that, no question about it. Yep.
Fucking, oh, God.
But it's so, and it really shines through on this disc. It's like, oh man. I mean, I quite fancy listening to that soundtrack isolated.
It's available on vinyl.
Well, maybe. But yeah, it's great. And as I say, like, I was looking more, man, the soundtrack was amazing. It was recorded in Rome by an actual orchestra. I was like, fuck me with a stick. I mean, that's how wild in a way that film was back in those days. In that, for a small budget film, for that to happen is completely insane, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you would never say, right, I've got a couple of million, I'm going to spend a quite large raft of it on an orchestra in Rome. I mean, it just wouldn't happen. Just absolutely no danger would happen. I love how wild film was back in those days. Like, let's get a fucking orchestra in Rome to record it. Yeah, perfect. That'll do us.
God.
And thank God, send more work to Rome.
Yes, do it. Do it.
Maybe we could get them to do a special theme tune for us. When I say them, I mean Rome. Get Rome to do a special theme tune for the Captain's Horror Meltdown.
Just Rome, just the city.
Yeah.
I mean,
just go with it. I'll just send a letter to Rome and say, just anything you want, just get it written. And then before you know it, it's a 37-minute intro before we even start talking. It's hardcore. There's operatic vocals.
Do you know what is it? To get
Are you okay?
I've just realised. I'm just looking through Stuart Gordon's other films. I knew he died this year. Died 2 days before we watched Re-Animator.
That's true. Yeah.
That's why we watched Re-Animator.
That is it. Yep.
Absolute fucking legend.
Did quite a lot of cool stuff.
Lots of good stuff. I was just going to say, From Beyond, the year after this, fucking tremendous.
Sensational.
Castle Freak, which I've not seen, but which is getting remade this year, apparently.
Castle Freak is fucking brilliant.
Yeah, need to watch that.
Dagon is really good.
Fortress, Robot Jocks. I'm a big fan of Robot Jocks. Dolls,
and of course,
I've never seen Dolls.
You must have seen Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Well, yeah, of course.
Which he was a writer on, but fucking bizarre.
Totally.
But yeah, Castle Freak's good. Dagon, I really, really, really recommend Dagon, especially 2001. Just pretty much towards the end of his directing career. But yeah, that's good fun. So yeah, yep, and Stuart Gordon, and of course, I'm struggling to remember the name. Brian Usner, of course. There we go.
Legend. Return of the Living Dead 3. I hope we get to that film with this. I was a big fan of that when I was a kid.
Yep, absolutely brilliant. Can't argue with it.
Big fan.
And Society. Fuck me.
Society. Holy shit.
That I think that's the bigger one. I'm going to be honest.
Holy shit. Society, man. Jesus.
Absolutely dynamite. Society is an actual all-time horror classic.
Oh, legend.
Sitting on my shelves. Maybe we'll get around to it at some point.
You'll
right.
get it one
Are we going to sort of
yes, I think we're going to. I think we're going to wrap this up.
Wrap this up in the film chat. If you permit me to go first.
Yes, I'll permit you to go first.
Excellent. I'm going to go for one thumb up.
Yep.
Because it's fucking amazing.
Yep.
I'm going to go for a second thumb up because it's fucking amazing and I will watch it again. Yes, end of story. Absolutely cracking film. It will be watched again in the future without question. Yeah, I mean, I would urge anyone who's not seen it to see it because if you've not seen it, you are missing out. That's all I can say. I absolutely love this film. End of story. 2 thumbs up.
Yep. I am exactly the same. 2 thumbs up. It is absolutely fucking cracking. I find it very hard to find anything to fault with it at all.
Yep.
Can't think of anything to fault with it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Really. For me, it's thoroughly entertaining. Throughout, it never lets up. It's fucking short and sweet. The gore is fucking tremendous. The acting is fucking great. The story is great. The writing's great. It really works really fucking well. And the second thumb up as well. Like you, I will fucking watch it again. It's I mean, we'll get to the Blu-ray in a bit, I guess. But earlier in the year, I was upset to have discovered when we watched it last time that the only version I thought I had it on Blu-ray. And I went to look,
right, yeah.
I only had it on DVD, but not only that, I had it had the Elite DVD, like Region 1 DVD, import DVD, which I think is from 1999.
Oh, there you go.
It wasn't even fucking anamorphic. It was, and the print was fucking terrible. Terrible. And it was, oh God, it was a disaster. It was a disaster.
Wow.
So, and I do not.
Anything, this little thing if anything, this little side mission has got you to buy a lovely new copy of Re-Animator.
Exactly, from Second Sight. We'll talk about it in a minute. So yeah, 2 thumbs up for me. I think there we go. So what do we do next? Are we going to do the Rotten Tomatoes?
I think we'll have a little look at the Blu-ray. Probably just a short one for me. I've not really looked a great deal at it.
Have you got the new UK Blu-ray as well? What's your Blu-ray?
No, I've got something else. Right, well, we'll get into that. I have the Cape Light Blu-ray, which I believe is a German company.
Right.
Yes, it is a German company. As hinted by the German lettering on the disc. Yeah. The reason I got it is I know maybe 1 or 2 had come out beforehand, and not got great reviews, and this one came out for 4K scan. I would kind of guess this scan has been the one that's been doing the rounds, or at least the source has been doing the rounds for everyone else. So I just chucked in and got this, because it was a little steel book of Re-Animator and Bride of Re-Animator. So it was like 20 quid, and it's quite pretty.
Lovely.
Extras wise, I mean, certainly the picture, I think is largely really, really good. I've got a really weird tendency not today, but in general, to sit very close to my screen for no good reason at the moment. I don't know what it is. Must be a screen, I mean, wall. So you can kind of see, I think you can kind of see some kind of smoothing where they've tried to degrain it a little bit.
Right.
But it's absolutely not a problem. It still looks fucking tremendous, and it would look way better if I actually watched it from an actual viewing distance.
Yes. Start saying a little bit further.
What a twat. Yes. And, the extras are fine. It's like all these kind of old guys are decent extras, and obviously I think the big one, which I guess off in yours, is the documentary, which was shot back in 2009, I think.
Yeah.
And it is really good. It's a good hour and 20-minute documentary.
Yeah, it's like hour and 10 maybe.
Is it? Hour and 10. But yeah, it's completely worth the admission money. For me, if you get the Cape Light edition, the picture is tremendous, and you get all the extras. Generally, they share a lot of the extras, especially that. As I've always said, the big extras for me are if it's got a documentary, and that documentary is on, I think, pretty much all the editions. So fill your boots, get involved.
I think it's called Re-Animator Resurrectus or something.
Something weird like that. Yeah. So I would say just don't even hesitate. Just buy it. It looks beautiful. And if you're into a fan of a documentary, that's worth the price of admission alone.
Yep. Well, I have the UK Blu-ray release, which is through Second Sight. Second Sight rapidly this year becoming one of my favourite Blu-ray companies.
Yep.
Obviously put out the 4K edition of Dawn of the Dead that we talked about last time. And just like their special editions are just fucking knocking it out of the park. It's a standard edition from them though. I bought it direct from them, like to support the companies where I can directly. And I think brand new including postage, it was £12.
That's alright.
I think on CEX it was maybe a tenner or something, so I was like, do you know what, I'm going to give the company the money.
Especially with CEX being cunts at the minute.
Oh, total cunts, but they're dead to us now, aren't they, because of the PS5?
They're dead to us.
Fucking absolutely fucking outrageous. Absolutely.
I literally can't buy anything from them ever again because they're basically authenticating theft.
Yep, they are. Yeah, basically they are. It's like a fucking old school fucking hustle, isn't it?
Yeah,
Jesus
fuck those guys.
Christ.
So anyone, we've absolutely ripped. We should give a bit of backstory, a little bit of backstory in this. We've obviously been advocating CX for ages because they generally are fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
So their vibe at the minute with this PS5 release is they are basically offering people more money than the console costs to trade it in, and then they sell it for even more. Yeah,
so I think the console sells for the disc edition, which is a more expensive one, sells for £450.
Right.
They're offering £650 to buy it.
Jesus.
And the thing is as well, it's the same price cash or whether you take credit. So there's no difference there at all. And they are then selling it for £850.
Jesus Christ. So whatever we said about
for Christmas,
CX,
it's like the fucking hottest ticket in town.
Yeah.
There'll be loads of kids that are just fucking greeting about it for Christmas. And there will be parents who fucking just end up having to spunk out for it. That's fucking horrendous, man.
Yeah, so unfortunately we are not backing CX anymore at the moment.
No, we'll be looking into alternatives for, well, I mean, the thing is, I always try and buy direct from the companies anyway. I mean, you know, but anyway.
Always been an amazing option for,
always been an amazing option. And their Blu-ray prices are fucking brilliant a lot of the time. They're not gougers when it comes to that sort of stuff. But yeah. Fucking very uncool thing to do, and thankfully they're getting some pretty heavy negative press. Certainly initially in the games press, but now it's actually spread to the mainstream press, and they've been getting a lot of negative publicity from their staff.
Excellent.
Who've been speaking anonymously to the press about it as well. Which basically because they are literally saying. I mean,
if you can bring us a console from wherever you may have found it, we will give you this much money.
We'll give you £650 for it.
Yeah. I think it's abhorrent behaviour, so I am done with them. End of story.
I mean, the thing is, these machines, technically, so they're second hand.
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying, so even if you bought one legitimately, you hadn't nicked one, whatever. And you sold it to them, because you needed the money. Fair enough. You need the money, you're so you're spending more money. So but it's technically second hand now, and it's selling they're going to sell it for £400 more than it's worth. And it basically, it's the fucking whole thing shady as fuck, isn't it?
It is. I think obviously, you pre-ordered yours like miles in advance.
Yeah.
So I guess you could get it and find yourself in a situation where you've got fuck all cash now when you actually receive it.
Yeah, but it's second hand, so it's not going to be. It's going to be out of warranty. It's going to be. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking shitty as fuck.
Yeah. I just think I'm upset by it.
It upsets me as well. If I was wanting to sell my PS5, which I don't, but if I was going to sell it, then I suppose the easy option is to take it to CEX. And some people might be like, fuck, I couldn't really afford to buy this in the first place. So that's fine, but selling it for an extra £200 on top of that is just...
I think it's just so shady, man. It's just like... Yeah, I think I've kind of got to my bottom rung of this console shit. This happens every single fucking year. Every time a new well, not every year, but every time a new console comes out, this shit proliferates.
Yeah,
and
I think they need to get back to... So I was talking about this online with someone the other day, so PS2... I pre-ordered the PS2, but to pre-order it, you had to go to an official Sony licensed game shop.
Yeah.
You walked in, you fucking filled out a form, they gave you a receipt back. It was like a pink fucking slip. There was a carbon copy of the form that you filled in. And then on the day of release, you walked into the shop, you handed over the thing. Do you know what I mean? The other thing is that the big situation just now with the PS5 and the Xbox One X is that Xbox Series X, sorry, not the Xbox One X.
It's
Xbox
confusing.
Series X.
It's got a lot of confusing titles. Very confusing titles.
They fucked themselves when they decided to go, when they couldn't call it the Xbox 2, they called it the Xbox 360, and they fucking backed themselves into a corner that they've never been able to get out of. But you walked in, you handed over the bit of paper, you fucking got your console. Do you know what I mean? It needs to be back to, the big problem just now has been as well, like people using bots, fucking buying up every single console when it's available and now selling it for a ridiculous price on eBay. And what I have been following with a lot of enthusiasm is people that are getting these guys to deliver consoles are saying, yeah, I'll buy it for £1,000 or whatever, and then get them to come out and then like just fucking them around and like tell them to fuck off. Wasting their times. It's fucking great. There was a guy that was working on a building site, I think it was in Glasgow or whatever, and he'd like got the guy to come out and drive it out, and he was going to pay him cash and all the rest, and the guy was like, oh, I don't know, God, yeah, it's about half an hour drive from me and all the rest, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually he came out and drove there and was like, oh, yeah, I'm outside, I'm waiting, where are you? And he was like, oh, you see the building site over the road? Yeah, look up to the 4th floor. And it was him and his mates giving him like, fuck you. Just basically totally fucking wasted this guy's time, which is great. I love it. I fucking love it. I don't have any time for scalpers. I don't like scalpers at all. It's not cool. You should only buy things if you fucking want to buy them yourselves. You shouldn't be buying them to invest in them. It's just fucking shambles. Have a bit of fucking dignity.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly those two words. Dignity.
Anyway,
CX.
Don't use CX at the minute. We might come round to them again if they redeem themselves.
If they apologise massively.
Yeah.
And then give us wee complimentary hand jobs and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be good. I say hand jobs. So second sight disc, beautiful sleeve,
good stuff.
Reversible sleeve, original VHS cover on one side, other side, fucking lovely. Absolutely love the new artwork. It's great. Kept it that way. Double discer, 2 Blu-rays.
Yep, nice.
One, the main one is the unrated cut. A couple of commentaries, no other extras on it. So maximum bitrate on there. And the other one is the integral cut with all the extras, documentary, interviews, blah, 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 all the stuff that's available on other discs. elsewhere.
Yeah, it's pretty much everyone. A lot of it's been like sort of recycled.
I like to see that. I like to see these companies sharing the work. Do you know what I mean? It's like the fans want it. The thing is, if you're a fucking Blu-ray company in the States and you've commissioned this work to be done, or you're a Blu-ray company in the UK, you've commissioned work to be done, or in Germany, blah, 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 and you can recoup some of your cost by selling it to other companies elsewhere, fucking great. Yeah. Don't make the fans traipse all over the world buy multiple copies of things for like one extra or one 5-minute interview or 10-minute interview. Do you know what I mean? Let's fucking share the love. As long as people are getting paid, and I've no doubt that, if you're wanting to license the extras from another company elsewhere that's paid for them to be done, you pay the money, you fucking get it done. If you weren't paying the money, then you'd be paying someone money to go and make them from scratch anyway. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah, exactly. I think it's when it comes to like little films like this, then you really should be sharing the love around. There's no question about it. And of course, if you've commissioned the documentary, then absolutely get numerated for it, no question about it.
Yeah.
But if it's a documentary, at least if a documentary like stuff that's on this list, then for God's sake, just pay the people the money and just give them share the love back, for Christ's sake. Exactly. Let's try and communicate in this world.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm giving a Blu-ray a little 2 thumbs up as well.
Yep, my Blu-ray is excellent.
And yeah, the print, 4K, I'm sure it is, it will be the same scan. But it's like from the negative 4K scan. They're not going to give up the negative to be scanned repeatedly over and over again. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, the print's grand. It's fine. It does what it says on the tin. I mean, it's never going to look fucking amazing. It's a lovely, it's the cleanest it's ever looked. It's the brightest it's ever looked. But at the same time, it's not going to fucking knock your socks off. It's a very low budget film.
Yeah. So, it stands as a massive upgrade on what we've seen in the past. So
totally.
we'll be happy with that.
Exactly. Happy days. So will we have a look at the Rotten Tomatoes?
Yes. Should we have a quick look at the censorship?
Well, let's have a look at the censorship.
Let's do very brief.
Well, I think really. We know that. I'll tell you what.
I think we're the main one is
James Furman spinning his grave.
Always, yep. Always
spinning his grave now that the film was passed completely uncut.
Mm-hmm.
Although I will say it took a while for it to be uncut.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. and they were like sort of like little. They keep releasing snippets of more things that that's fine. We can put that back in. We can put that back in. We can put that back in. But it did take a long time, years.
I mean, it's one of those films that I would have expected. A lot of films, basically, you now find were basically suddenly uncut. In around the sort of 2002 mark after James Furman had died.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of stuff was sort of rushed, sort of sent right back in because, under James Furman's rule, there wasn't much of a chance of stuff getting past. He ruled with an iron fist. And basically, as soon as he died, stuff was, well, I think he'd retired in the late 90s from the BBFC, but pretty much after he died, stuff was basically all put in and just to test the censors out again and see, if they modernised them at all. And generally they had. And I mean, I think the big thing, there's a lot of real red flags for him in this film. I mean, it's a very good film, but
there's one scene in particular that really is like, you can't. Yeah, that's definitely going to get cut.
Yeah, I mean, there's what's definitely a rape scene, unconsensual sex scene, but we are talking here about a decapitated head. We're talking about a doctor who's been decapitated, who's holding his head, and has tied down Barbara Crampton and is then raping her. So it definitely is a rape. It's horrendous. It's horrible. It's very
easily the nastiest scene in the film.
It's very, very nasty. It's very uncomfortable viewing. But at the same time, it is within the context of the film. It's not out of line. I mean, it's certainly not eroticized at all. It's no,
For
there's
God's
nothing.
sake, no.
There's no way. I mean, even your average teenager is not going to manage to knock one out during this, I don't think.
No.
Well, they might do, but oh God, they might. They might end up. Oh God, I mean,
give us actually.
Yeah. I mean, it is a really fucking wild scene. I mean, it fucking
bonkers.
knocks you for six. I mean, it's the kind of thing that you really wouldn't get anymore as well.
I mean, it is very. I think it's not out of context with the film, but it is very shocking within the film because you think you've seen it all, and it's like, holy shit! Then there's this. I'm being sexually predatorized by a severed head.
Yeah.
It's like, what is going on? It's absolute madness, but we like absolute madness, so we're fine with it. It's been the biggest bugbear all the way through the various cuts of the film here in Britain. And
like you said, the cuts came down and down and down a little bit. You know, a few seconds here, a few seconds there. Every time it was submitted, there was a little bit more left. But I mean, still, you know, by early 2000s, it was still cut by nearly 2 minutes, minute 50. I can't actually try to think. I think I probably only saw the cut version for a long time. This was a film that I don't remember having an uncut version of. I don't remember.
I do remember. It's one of those films where I do remember seeing the uncut version for the first time and being like, wow.
Yeah, no. Well, that's the thing as well. Like, I remember being, it was like we were saying the other day with Dawn of the Dead, where like when you saw the fucking guy, the exploding head at the start, just being like, a film that you were so familiar with, suddenly being like, what the fuck? You know, there's like loads of fucking extra shit in here. Do you know what I mean? It was a real shocker. And I mean, I think it's safe to say that James Furman, in his grave right now, if you were to whisper into his ear, Re-Animator's uncut, fucking spinning his grave, man.
Yep. I think especially with that scene, this is a definite spinning in his grave rating. It's a full Furman
Spinning his grave.
Absolutely can't take it. He'd be absolutely spinning his grave.
Not spinning he'd be spinning even faster when you whisper to him that there's not been an outbreak of rapes performed by decapitated heads.
Because that was obviously the main worry.
That was the main worry, yeah, totally.
And you never know.
It's very funny. It's like, you know, I mean, the whole concern of the BBFC has always been like, you know, sort of, you know, impressionable people, and you know, this is their sort of external thing, you know, what effect it might have on troubled minds or whatever. But I mean, you find it very hard to find as graphic as Re-Animator is, and not as like. To be fair, I mean, like, you know, that scene's really strong, but there's quite a lot of nudity in the film anyway as well.
Yeah.
But the film, at no point, for all the gore and nudity, never feels, and it never feels like it's a problematic film. Do you know what I mean?
No, it never feels sexualized at any point.
No, never. No, totally. And it's actually one of the things that they were saying in the documentary, actually, that Barbara Crampton and the guy that played Dan, forget his name, Bruce Abbott, they had never met each other before the film was made, so they had a couple of weeks of rehearsals, but I mean, by the time they got, you know, they actually had a really good bond, and it actually does feel like they are a couple in the film. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
it's like,
it's very
it doesn't,
yeah.
you know, even when there's a sex scene early on in the film that's like, you know, just very casually done and fun, and you know, just it actually works as part of, you know, this is a believable young couple. Do you know what I mean? It's not.
It works.
You know,
Totally works.
You know,
it very much works in this relationship. There's no question about it. Yep. So yes. Speaking of ratings.
Okay.
Are we going to do it? The Rotten Tomatoes rating.
Okay. Oh man, it's a hard one.
This is hard.
I think that I've not looked into this at all. I think that it got good critic ratings at the time,
Right.
as well. I think it's a definite fan favourite. If it's not got a high rating from the fans, then I fucking despair and I fucking hate Rotten Tomatoes even more than I already hate it. I'm going to say critics. I would say for the critics, 80%.
80. Nice, okay.
And for the audience,
Should we both do our... Oh, yeah, fine, we'll go for it. Yeah, yeah. So
no, you do yours. You do your critics.
I think 85.
85.
Yeah, I don't know, I've got a feeling about this film. I've got a feeling.
Okay, and for the fans, I'm going to go high. I'm going to go 95.
I'm going to go 75.
Holy fuck. It's going to go one way or another.
Well, very much is. How do you spell it?
There's no way. Why did I say 95? There's no fucking way. Because it's just going to be full of twats going, this film's fucking rubbish. Because they're fucking cunts. Sorry
Right.
for the language, folks.
You're used to it. We're fine. Re-Animator.
Come on, hit me up, baby.
Critic score 93.
No way.
Holy shit, that's of 61 reviews. Audience score 82.
Fuck.
Off 37,000 reviews.
Fuck.
Critics higher than audience. Fucking
Fuck.
hell. What is going on in this film? So I went 85. I think I've won the critics.
You've won the critics.
You've won the audience.
On audience.
I said 75. You went mental. You're not going like 97,000.
95.
I've won both!
Aye.
Yes! Oh, you gotta love this stupid feature.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
93%. 93%. Holy shit. Well, there you go. There you go. Whatever you think of Rotten Tomatoes, it surprises every single time.
Jesus. Holy fuck.
Well, there we go.
There you go. Well, it is...
I'm going to say quickly, love it or list it. I'm loving it. This is going nowhere.
There's fucking no way this is going anywhere. I'm fucking keeping hold of this bad boy.
No point discussing that. We're just keeping those fellas. So what are we on to next?
Well, so we continue our journey up the river tweed. Hopefully we'll catch. So I think that Dave has just lost the plot completely. So he's going to have slowed down somewhat. He's just going to be he's going to be speaking to every fisherman on his way up. I
reckon he's just on shore now. His little paddle boat's drifted down into the river, and he's probably on foot. I
think he's on foot at the side of the river. I think Doc's next to him on the bike.
Yeah,
absolute shambles.
Just hooting forward.
We'll get to there. Well, I think God, we've got to get close to her later at some point. But next week or next time, well, next week for us. It won't be next week for the listeners.
No, it definitely won't.
Won't be.
Next episode. Let's just say next episode.
Next episode. I've been trying my hardest. Next episode, we are foolishly.
This is actually the worst idea I've ever had.
Yeah, it was your idea.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Now I think about it, I said it to Rachel, she was like, "You're a fucking idiot." I was like, "Okay."
Mary answered that to me as well. She was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why would you do that? Why would you fucking do that?" I don't know. John said I had to. If you told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it?
Yeah, you could have come back and said, "John, that's a terrible idea," which it is.
Yeah, but we've committed to it now.
We have committed. In our own heads, we've committed to it. Okay, so...
It's going to be a busy episode, that, I think.
No, fucking right it is. Prepare for the longest... I'm looking at our timer now, which is at 1:30. I can't see anything I'm going to cut out of this episode.
No,
I've not listened to our last episode.
Any more than usual.
I usually tend to listen to our episodes before I put them out. And I looked at the... Dawn of the Dead episode, and it's the same length, but I explicitly remember not talking about what happens in the film at all.
Yeah, what were we talking about? I can't remember.
Just stuff, memories and things. And
that's beautiful. That's what the fans want to listen to.
Yeah, but I will have to listen back to it now because now I'm quite nervous about it. I don't think we actually talked about the film for 1 second. So anyway, Captain introduces us to what could be the first 4-hour epic.
We are going to watch the Evil Dead trilogy.
Yeah.
Back to back. So we're going to do the whole thing in a 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
It's going to be fucking...
One viewing, one episode.
One viewing, one episode. We're going to do one set. Are we going to do a single setting for the films?
I don't know.
I might have to do 1 and 2 one night and then Army of Darkness next morning.
Yeah, what I might do is the next morning. Holy fucking shit. Yeah, my idea is to possibly try and watch them all on Tuesday. Like, actually get up in the morning, get the kids to school, and then just sit down and watch all three of them back to back.
I might do that as well.
And then just fire into Wednesday completely mind-boggled.
Be a bit weird watching Evil Dead in the daytime, though.
Oh God. I have to confess, I don't have Evil Dead. So I got a friend of mine who has a 4K restoration. And he was like, oh, I've actually dumped all my stuff down onto a drive. So he's got all the discs. But he just
so you're borrowing his disc effectively, but you're borrowing his digital disc.
But he doesn't watch his disc. He said, when I get the disc, I rip it and then I put it somewhere to keep it safe. I was like, all right, okay, so if I give you a drive, can you maybe copy it over or something?
Shit.
It's like, yeah, totally. So, but I can't give you the disc because I keep them away somewhere. So, all right. so, is this wrong? Is this? I don't know what's going on. But he gave me it today, and it is. I looked at it, and I was like, "Is this?" Oh fuck it, it's fine. I've bought this film so many times in the past. I don't think I actually have to really.
Exactly.
I don't have to defend myself. I've probably bought it 9 million times. But I looked at it today, and it's. I don't know what version it's got, but I've got the original 16mm version.
Right.
So not blown up into 16:9.
Right. So
it's basically looks like 4:3.
4:3. Shit.
Yeah. But a 4K scan.
I wonder. I'm gonna have a look at mine tonight before I go to bed.
I'll be interested.
I'll be watching. I'm watching the first 2 on UHD.
Yeah.
4K import restorations. And we'll get into all that shit at the time. But then Army of Darkness is apparently on one of the shittest Blu-rays available in the world of Army of Darkness.
Yeah, Army of Darkness.
But you're working on one of the best Blu-rays of Army of Darkness.
Still isn't that amazing. It's one I bought in France ages ago. It surprises me that Army of Darkness has not been treated with any kind of respect whatsoever. I think the French one I've got, well, I bought it in France because it had been so well reviewed. And
it's not right that when you bought it, the person at the till ran it through the till and then swiped it through their arse cheeks before handing it back to you. Was that badly treated?
Yeah, well, that's just the way the French do it.
Right, okay. Okay. It's some sort of weird, it's just in their scanning system.
Yeah, I mean, my French version of Jaws smells like a jobby.
Classic.
Yeah, totally.
Nice.
So yes, we'll get it. Well, I think the best thing about it is I've got the HD version of All Cut. So
yes,
we should probably decide which cut we're going to watch, I guess.
Yes, I'm going to have to look at my cut. I think the version I've got only has the European theatrical cut.
Right.
Because it's a European Blu-ray
It's a discussion after we finish recording. Okay.
Yeah, I'll look into it. It all gets very confusing because this is a film that we saw in the cinema at the time. And
yeah, I didn't actually know.
Oh, didn't you? I did.
That's an interesting little story about this. Yeah.
We'll get into that later. But fun. So that's what we'll be doing next time. If you are listening to this now and the new episode isn't out yet, or even if it is out, and you fancy joining us, then get yourself Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness watched.
And Coronavirus.
The thing is, they're all about an hour and a half anyway, aren't they, I think?
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. So yeah, if you imagine an episode like this, but maybe 3 times the length, join us.
Yeah. Thanks
join us! Join us!
I'll swallow your soul.
Can't wait, actually. Come on! Right, cut this shit off. Let's get out of here.
See you later, Henrietta. Bye.
Bye.
Night, everyone.